Hi there, and good morning, and welcome to the trade setup right here on BloombergQuint Live. I'm Neeraj Shah, and it's the last day of the week and promises to be an interesting one. I must say, yesterday a lot of us talked about on trade setup, and then on the YouTube video as well on the comment section. The beauty about yesterday's trade setup was that almost all the sectors that we thought were logically going to do well did well, right? IT bounced back from the lows. Metals turned out to be the sector of the day, so to say. And banks after the gap up continued their merry ways. In fact, HDFC Bank was the reason why we did well. So let's wait and watch what happens today. First, the global markets and how they are set up. I think the US markets did really well. So the move on the US markets was pretty strong. Nasdaq, Dow, S&P, all of them did very well. The interesting thing that is happening is the US economy is firing on all cylinders, essentially showing signs of firing on all cylinders. And despite that, yields are actually coming off. So if you look at the last 10-day move, I mean, this is of course the inverted chart, right? But you will see this is the normal chart. But if you can see the red line showing that how the yields have moved down from around 1.75 to sub 1.6, nearly 1.54 or 55, currently at about 1.58. So the yields had a bit of a move downwards yesterday. Now, one of the reasons why this could be happening, it's all conjecture, of course, but one of the reasons why it could be happening is that there might be a flight to safety. The US Treasury is the safest instrument perceivably, right, in nomenclature terms. So if there is a beeline to safety because of what's happening on COVID cases in the emerging market pack, you probably have this happening irrespective of what the US economy is doing. And this may be a small move before maybe the yields start moving up again. But as our series Navigating Through Uncertainty is saying, if the yields don't move up in a hurry, but if they gradually move towards that 1.7 or 2% mark, then it should be okay. So let's wait and watch how this shapes up. Okay, now what is it that all of us should be keeping in mind? Asia today is okay. It's not bad, it's not great either. So there's a bit of a muted move out there in Asia. And the SGX Nifty, which kind of recovered a bit of its lost mojo yesterday, is also showing a flattish start. So maybe the action will happen underneath the Nifty. I do think, though, that supported by the global cues at large, the markets are ready to take forward the momentum that was discovered in trade yesterday. So you might actually have, even though the start may be flattish, you might actually have a day which has a bit of momentum in itself. So you probably have that going. So that is part one. I think the tech uptick from yesterday's lows is going to likely to continue today. And there are reasons for it, which I'll come to in a bit, individual stock wise, which could actually lead the tech momentum to continue. I think if there is a gap up open for the bank Nifty, which was the principal driver in trade yesterday, you might have a bit of a breather for banks. They've recovered a bit of lost ground. I think there might be a breather in the session today for banks, if indeed there is a gap up, by the way. Keep in mind. I just hear from dealers that they're contrarian buys in life insurance, which could probably not do as well because of the COVID claims, but because the results are expected to be good. Maybe there could be contrarian buys in life insurance companies, and further upticks expected in ethanol plays. Yesterday, without exception, Praj, Balrampur, Dhampur, all of them did really well. I hear from dealers that they could continue doing well in the session today. So let's wait and watch if that happens. What are the individual stocks that all of us should keep in mind? That's the other important thing. And yesterday, if it was all about Infosys, today it's all about Wipro. It was for the wrong reason, or rather the negative reasons for Infosys. Wipro is very interesting. So what happened essentially in Wipro, keep in mind, we'll get to the outlook in a bit. But for the quarter, there was broad-based revenue growth, 12 large client deals with a total TCV of $1.4 billion, as a result of which, the broad-based revenue growth was accompanied by the headline number looking okay. 16,245 was the actual number. The Bloomberg estimate was 16,077 crores. Yeah, but the quarter-on-quarter jump was from 15,670 to 16,255. But the Bloomberg estimate was 16,077 crores, and that's the important thing. Compared to estimates, it did really well. EBIT margins or the net profit at 2,972 crores. Oh yeah, let's stick to EBIT margins. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's stick to EBIT margins first, then come to net profit. EBIT margins were at about 20.5%. Yes, they may have declined, but the estimates were 20.1%, and therefore the EBIT margin also is not a bad number. The net profit at 2,972 crores. The Bloomberg estimate was 2897 crores, and therefore out there too, much better beat. So, you may look at these change on quarter-on-quarter basis numbers, which is fine, but compared to estimates, Wipro did really well. They also said that their IT services business for FY22 will grow at about 11 to 13%, and quarter one growth is expected at 2.4%, excluding the new acquisitions. So organic growth at 2.4%. This is not all that bad, and compared to the recent past, I mean, yes, Wipro blows hot, blows cold, but compared to the recent past, I think this actually turned out to be a pretty decent numbers / commentary from Wipro. And I think the Wipro ADR, if I'm not wrong, would have shown this, would have reflected this, and therefore you will probably see this move in the Wipro stock as well. So in all probability, the IT stock of the day could well be Wipro. So do watch out for that one. This is the Wipro ADR, and look at that surge that came into that big boy. It's a really sharp up move, and this is of course all through. But if you just look at yesterday's move, which is that sharp uptick, yeah, that shows you, right, that the Wipro ADR had a pretty strong up move in the session yesterday, and you could well have a decent move on the base stock today. So that may propel the sentiment in IT. And HCL Tech, incidentally, there was an announcement in a couple of global publications yesterday. HCL Tech, I didn't receive a press release from them, but they've apparently expanded their global collaboration with Intel to accelerate digital transformation. Essentially, HCL's strength in SAP plus Intel's deep expertise, all of that, and if they're expanding their global collaboration, that should probably aid both the companies. So it's probably good news for HCL Tech too. So expect both of these. Wipro much more. Of course, HCL Tech is a small thing, and the results are coming out next Friday. So until then, maybe there might not be really sharp rallies, but you expect Wipro today to do well and maybe improve the sentiment on IT a little bit. So do watch out for that. Bajaj Auto, this is a press release that we got at BloombergQuint. They have reopened online booking. They reopened online booking for Chetak Electric at 9 a.m. on April 13th, and had to stop bookings just 48 hours later owing to overwhelming demand. That's the key thing, right? I mean, we all talk about electric scooters, and everybody was saying that Bajaj Auto is late to the party. Sure, it is. But for the first batch, if they had to shut down bookings because there was overbooking, that should augur well. One, for brand Bajaj. Two, for what it does to the electric vehicle ambitions of the company, because it gives a bit of a leg up to that, right? And that could be viewed very, very constructively. Sure, the batch would have been smaller and all of that. I agree. I get it. But the fact that they had to stop bookings, which means they launched with a particular expectation, they were able to do much better than that, which should be, well, now, is it really that big a stock moving event? Maybe not. But maybe it is an interesting angle that fits into the hitherto motorcycle story of Bajaj Auto. I think the market would take this positively. Let's wait and watch. It's a day-old news, of course. The release came in yesterday to us, but it is important, and therefore I thought it is important to highlight. It's an important day for earnings as well. All through the next few days, we'll have Mindtree, HDFC Bank, etc. So keep an eye out on all of those. BCL Industries, a couple of small stocks, and BCL Industries is one. Equity India Fund has sold about 145,000 shares at 126. So the key is not that Porinju Velayat's fund has sold it. The key is that I hear from smart people that a pretty good set of investors have got into BCL Industries. And if this stock has some traction, then you know why. That a large portion of selling from one large fund is over, and smart money has gotten into it. So therefore, do watch out for BCL. Do watch out for Aurobindo Pharma. Hyderabad-based company is looking to demerge, which is Aurobindo Pharma, is looking to demerge its injectables business. This is as per Money Control. I saw it on Money Control. It could be a story of some other bit as well. But this could be interesting for Aurobindo Pharma as a stock. So we at BloombergQuint haven't verified this. Keep in mind, viewers. But it's my duty to make you aware of stocks which could be moving and tell you the probable reasons why. So if Aurobindo Pharma moves, maybe this could be one of the reasons why it is moving. Keep that in the back of your mind. And then some stocks which had some very good price and volume action in trade yesterday. They got purchased on fairly high delivery-based volumes, the likes of Linde India, Adani Total Gas, and a few others. It's some pretty smart volume action, and therefore you got to watch out for those. A good price, good delivery volumes, 30-40% delivery volumes for Adani Total. Linde India was some 50%. And then there were a few others. So those are names. Astral Poly, a 6% gain, 56% delivery volumes. Polyplex, 12% gain with 36% delivery volumes. So pretty notable delivery data as of April 15th. And this is something that you got to keep in mind as well. So all in all, viewers, flat start expected, but action maybe underneath the Nifty. On the Nifty, you would have IT do well, but yet if the Nifty is flat, then maybe banks would be taking the breather that I'm talking about, post a gap up at the start itself. Never know. So let's wait and watch what happens. Remember, HDFC Bank ahead of its numbers tomorrow has already had a bit of a move from 1375 rupees odd to 1425 or 1435. It's already had a bit of a surge ahead of its numbers. Yes, the numbers are anticipated to be good because they've already given the release, but there's a bit of a move that has happened, so you keep that at the back of your mind. Watch out for Mindtree as well. The numbers are slated to come out today. So all in all, an interesting session of day trade ahead. Also keep in mind, UBS is amongst the first houses to have downgraded India's GDP for FY22 from the earlier levels. From 11.5% to about 10.5. I think multiple other brokerage houses will come and do that. So that could be news that or noise that the markets might have to contend with. But if you have noise around and if you want to navigate through this uncertainty very well, as I've told you, our special series Navigating Through Uncertainty is on. Today, we will have Rhythm Desai come out and talk about his thoughts of how should you or how should all of us navigate through this uncertainty. This is at 9:30 a.m. today. It's a conversation that you can't afford to miss. Rhythm is one of my favorite guests, really, and he simplifies it really well, and that is what all of us should be watching out for. So 9:30 a.m. today, and of course throughout the weekend, whenever you log in, just hear what Rhythm Desai had to say. The interview will be on our website. Thanks so much for tuning into the Trade Setup. Please have a safe day and a safe weekend ahead. Please wear your masks and ensure all safety protocols. Thank you.